Today, our Portland Trailblazers can advance to the NBA Finals. We can also have our season end, or possibly have the Western Conference move into a Game 7. There's a lot of possibilities here in this one, which is going to make today's episode very interesting. The Western Conference Finals has been super competitive so far, with the series currently tied at 2. We split the first 2 games at home, really struggling offensively in Game 1 before really picking it up in Game 2, bringing us to the last episode. That started with Game 3, a game that we won by 15, despite a rib injury for Darius Springer in the second quarter. He only scored 6 points in the last 25 minutes, but we had other guys step up. 36-7 for Scoot, while Khalil Griffin had a triple-double, and both of them did it on great shooting splits. Mel Wright is always going to get his, and he ended up with 39. Midnight Hopkins only missed 3 shots. I feel like they're not having him shoot the ball enough, which ultimately carried into Game 4, a game that the Kings did end up winning despite multiple injuries. Joel Embiid restrained his hip in Game 3. Jaden Prospero strained his shoulder. Neither of them played in Game 4, so the Kings, missing 2 starters, were still able to get a win despite 33 from Springer, 24 from Sharp, and strong performances from Scoot and Griffin. Our 3-point shooting was completely abysmal, and the reason why we lost, we were 3 for 20 from deep going into the fourth, while Midnight Hopkins scored 42. He was finally aggressive in this game, and well, it's a big reason why Sacramento ultimately ended up winning, which brings us to where we are today with Game 5 in Portland and then Game 6 in Sacramento, with the Detroit Pistons awaiting to see if this series goes 7 or if we will get a winner. Should be an interesting one here, as this is ultimately where we fell last year, losing in 6 in the Western Conference Finals to Sacramento. So we've been in this exact same position before, and hopefully we've learned from our experiences a year ago. We are going to make some small changes to the rotation. I think I'm done exploring the idea of Darius Springer playing every single minute. He needs those 3 or 4 minutes in the second quarter to sit. And then a guy who I want to give a little bit of playing time to is Malachi Suleiman. He really hasn't taken a role this year in the playoffs, but I actually think giving him 7-8 minutes a game for his defense could be pretty valuable, especially with how effective guys like Mel Wright and Midnight Hopkins have been on the perimeter. We'll see what happens injury-wise for Sacramento regarding Jaden Prospero and Joel Embiid, who both didn't play in the last game and didn't need to play in order for Sacramento to get the win. Darius Springer, by the way, is fully recovered from his rib injury. He's been banged up for most of this series, whether it was the ankle injury he suffered in the last round that carried here, or now the rib injury from Game 3, but he is fully healthy, and once again, our team has nobody on the injury report, which obviously Sacramento cannot say the same. And coming into this game, we get the official word that both Joel Embiid and Jaden Prospero once again will not play. So the Kings will be without 2 of their starters. They were able to survive and thrive without both of them in Game 4, but we'll see if they have similar luck. Once again, it'll be Davion Mitchell running the point, and then Kamari White will replace Joel Embiid in the front court. In Game 4, White played the 4, and Apollo Cone was at the 5, but Sacramento is going to flip-flop it. Apollo Cone is 7'2", but he's more of a perimeter player. He's the closest thing in terms of skill set to Victor Wembanyama, so that's why they want him at the 4, and White will play the 5. As Portland wins the tip, and we are underway here in Game 5 at home, series tied at 2. Here's Khalil Griffin with it, has Porzingis open for the slam. Porzingis was waiting in the dunker spot, ultimately gets the easy pass and is there with the finish. Mitchell, pump fake, blocked by Porzingis, but Kamari White is right there for the putback to start the scoring for Sacramento, and we're tied at 2. Mel Wright with it on the perimeter. Sharp was expecting him to go right. Instead, he goes left and drills the triple. Mel Wright has not been super efficient in this series, but has certainly scored the ball at a high level with high volume. Wright, open 3, is good. Sharp wasn't able to act quick enough, as Mel Wright can get that thing out fast. Khalil Griffin with the offensive rebound off the miss from Sharp. Blazers struggling early, down 12-4. It's stolen by Wright, who takes it all the way for a layup. He's got 8, and Sacramento has set the tone early. They're already up by 10, 3 minutes into the game, and Portland's got to get something going. Springer, top of the key three is good. And the MVP is on the board for the first time today. Amel Wright guarded by Sharp with the drive inside. Floater is good. And Amel Wright is already in the double figures. His efficiency has been, well, not the best here in the Western Conference Finals, but he's not missing early tonight. Mitchell loses it. It's Scoot Henderson with the steal. Porzingis with a dime for Griffin, who's in with the dunk. What a pass by Kristaps Porzingis, looking like Super Bowl MVP Puma Whitlock, as it's 18-10. Griffin with a dime for Sharp, who makes a nice cut off the ball, in for the layup, his first points of the game. Everybody's getting the rock early for Portland. Here's Midnight Hopkins. Jumper is good, coming off a brilliant performance in Game 4. But it's about the aggressiveness with Hopkins. He's been ultra efficient, but again, hasn't shot it enough consistently. As Amel Wright hits the three on the move, he's up to 15 points. That's more than the entire Blazers team does combined. Shaedon Sharpe will change that as he makes another nice cut off the ball, in with the layup. 25-18 now. Logan over to Griffin. Up, and away! Mama! There goes that man! Khalil Griffin with the poster over Amel Wright. And it's 25-20. Springer with it on the drive. In with the wide open slam. And we all of a sudden are within one score. Now within 1 point. The offense has looked considerably better. And now Sacramento's in a little bit of a drought, as Jaden McDaniels looks to put an end to it. He's in with the layup. Yeah, they have Kevin Durant, but we've got Jaden McDaniels. 27-24. Hopkins on the drive. Layup is good, despite strong defense by the rookie, Caleb Marsh. 29-24, Marsh with it, gets the screen on the drive, pick and pop, Springer open, three is on the way. He's got 12 here in the early going. 29-27, 6 to go in the first. McDaniels gets the screen over to Jalen Williams. Layup is off the mark. Logan heaves it up, and that one is no good. That'll wrap up a competitive, hard-nosed first quarter in which the Kings lead 29-27. Over the first few minutes, it was Sacramento's offense who was really dominant. And then over the last 5 minutes, it switched over to Portland. Hopkins, and one on the three! Number one rule of defense, don't foul the jump shooter. The second rule, don't let him make the shot. A potential 4-point play for Midnight Hopkins. A big boost for Sacramento, who triples their lead. They're now up by 6. Butler has it stripped away and stolen by Ochai Agbaji. Here's Khalil Griffin with it in the corner. Sharp, pump fake, Griffin, wing three is off the mark. He was open. Good ball movement there by Portland, but they're unsuccessful. Jimmy Butler's triple will fall. And that ultimately ends up being a 6-point swing off the original miss in favor of Sacramento. Portland responds with the lob from Scoot Henderson to Khalil Griffin. But the Blazers are struggling early in the second, as they've done often here in these playoffs during the minutes that Darius Springer has not been on the floor. Hopkins' jumper is good. It's a 9-point lead here for Sacramento. Scoot Henderson with it on the drive. He has Griffin in the corner. Griffin off the screen. Fade away. Top of the key. Three is good. Nice shot by Griffin. He's in the double figures. 39-32. Springer back in, and look at this matchup. Davion Mitchell's a good defender unless he's guarding somebody who is 6'10". Understandably, Springer's got 9 inches on him. Pause. No diddy. 39-34, Mitchell on the drive. Nice pass for Kamori White, who's in with the slam. And Sacramento's been able to maintain their lead as they're up by 7. Hopkins, guarded by Agbaji, pushes him out of the way. And Midnight Hopkins is in with the layup. 43-34 now. Scoot Henderson looking to get somebody off the screen. It's Ochai Agbaji. Top of the key three is money. The Blazers have been shooting the ball really well from the top of the key today, as they've got multiple threes from that spot. Nice move by Hopkins, getting by this time Caleb Marsh, who seems to be getting some extra minutes here in Game 5. Springer with the drive. Scoot Henderson, Porzingis in the corner. Bang! He hits the three. 5-point lead, make it a 7-point lead as this continues to be a healthy lead for Sacramento. Lillard on the drive, he's trapped. Agbaji open, right wing three is good. And Ochai hits a pair of triples here in the second. 47-43. Hopkins with it on the drive. Layup is good. The first quarter was all about Amel Wright. The second quarter has been all about Midnight Hopkins. It's been these two guys carrying the load the entire series offensively for Sacramento. And today it has not changed, as Springer is in for Zay Logan. Good pass, good finish, 49-45. Springer guarded by Wright. That's a mismatch! As he slams it home over White. And the Blazers bring it within 2. Now we're tied, 49 apiece. Portland looking to take their first lead in a long while. And they will off the crafty layup for Darius Springer. He's got 18 here in the first half. Portland leads 51-49. A nice run over the last couple of minutes. Sacramento looking to tie this game, and they will, as Kamari White uses his strength inside to bully Zay Logan. And we're tied at 51. Cone, right, triple for the lead, and Sacramento is back ahead with the 3 from El Wright. 54-51. Springer over to Khalil Griffin. Tight defense by Hopkins. Off the screen. Griffin with a prayer. It's answered! What a shot by Khalil Griffin. He's hit some really impressive ones today as Springer loses it on the drive. It's Amel Wright. Over to Davion Mitchell. The best offense is good defense. Good transition play by Sacramento. They're back up by 2. Khalil Griffin on the drive. Inside for Springer with a bullet. And Darius Springer is in with the layup. He has got an ultra-efficient 20 points. Tied at 56 now, under 40 to go in the half. Springer's guarded by Wright. He wants this matchup, but he's doubled. And Wright's going to be able to get the jump ball. Springer was hoping somebody would get open, and it was Zay Logan on the right corner. But now we'll need a jump ball, and it's won by Sacramento, even though Springer's a good probably 4 or 5 inches taller than Wright. Apollo Cone on the other end misses the floater. White with the rebound. He's got Mitchell in the corner. Back to Cone, under 20 and a half. Still tied at 56. Kamari White, guarded by Logan. Over to Amel Wright for 3. That one is no good, and Portland now has a chance to take the lead. They'll look to move fast. It's in the hands of Shaedon Sharpe on the drive. Sharpe, layup, no good. Nice defense by Wright. And that'll do it for the first half. We've got a good one. Knotted up at 56. I feel like Sacramento was in control for most of the half. So the fact that this game is tied is honestly kind of a win for Portland. And they've got to keep up the momentum they've gotten over the last couple of minutes going into the second half. I think both of these offenses have been really similar. Their star players have been really good and really efficient, while the role players have been completely abysmal. And both teams are certainly going to be running things more than ever through their best players. For Sacramento, Hopkins has 17, Wright has 18. Look at the shooting splits. Hopkins is 7 of 8. Dude doesn't miss. Amel Wright has missed a lot from 3, but still, he is shooting close to 50%. As for us, Springer is 20, Griffin has 13, and the two of them are shooting lights out. 13 of 16 from the field, and 9 of 9 from inside the arc. But despite that, both offenses overall have been, I feel like, fairly mediocre. Portland as a team is shooting the ball quite a bit better than Sacramento, but that's because of the increased turnovers. If we're more careful with the ball here in the second half, I think that could bode well because we have been more efficient than Sacramento. Hopkins with a nice move on Khalil Griffin. He's in with the layup. Sacramento better give Hopkins the ball often. It's coaching malpractice that it took them 4 games for him to have such a big role in the offense. Pick and pop. Logan's 3 is good for the lead. 59-58. Amel Wright with it. Crossover right on the drive. It's tipped by Springer. Ends up with Khalil Griffin. Here comes the Blazers on the break. Griffin with space. Deep 3 is good. Khalil Griffin, as I said earlier, has hit some really tough threes on the move, off the dribble, and these are not shallow threes as well. These are long beyond the line as Hopkins is in with the slam over Scoot Henderson. 60-62. Griffin, crossover. Too easy! You could argue Midnight Hopkins might be a little bit better than Khalil Griffin at this point in their careers, but Khalil Griffin has him beat with athleticism and explosiveness, showing it there. Apollo Cone, pump fake, layup is good, and it is a 2-point game, 62-64. Scoot Henderson gets the screen from Logan. Scoot Henderson's jumper, no good. Logan rebound, Sharpe, wide open, corner 3, bang! Big play by Zay Logan with the offensive rebound to ultimately get the assist for Sharpe. 5-point game. Springer hands it off for Griffin. He's guarded by Wright. And again, this is the matchup that these Blazers forwards want. Khalil Griffin takes him to the crib. He's got 20 already. 62-69. Nice. Here's Cone with it on the drive. Loses it. It's been that kind of quarter on both ends of the floor for Sacramento. They're really struggling right now. Darius Springer, by the way, is a double-double. 20 and 12 with that offensive rebound. And Portland will get another second chance opportunity. Scoot Henderson, mid-range jumper is good. And Sacramento is getting killed on the glass right now. Portland dominating in the rebound battle. Shaedon Sharpe, contested layup is good. Minutes ago, this game was tied, and now Portland is up by 11. They have been dominant in the third quarter, so far outscoring Sacramento 17-6. Here's Kamari White in with the layup, leaves Porzingis in the dust. 73-64. Scoot Henderson hands it off for Khalil Griffin. Back to Scoot. Line 2. That one is good. And Sacramento's going to call a timeout. About time. They should have did this like 3 minutes ago. Here's Davion Mitchell with it. Trapped by Griffin. He's got Amel Wright for 3, and that one is good. It's been a quiet game outside of the first quarter for Amel Wright, who since the first only has 5 points, including that shot on poor shooting. Here is Davion Mitchell. That one is good, despite nice defense by Springer, and the lead is within 6. Sacramento now starting to look better. They were down by as much as 12 a couple minutes ago and have cut that in half. Pick and roll. Springer with the layup over Davion Mitchell. Not a matchup Sacramento wants, as we've seen. Mitchell's gotten exposed there. Wright off the screen. Passes out of the shot to Kamari White, who is in with the layup. 6-point game. Here is Scoot Henderson with it over to Darius Springer. Springer back to Scoot. 5 on the shot clock. Got to get it out quick. Fadeaway 3 ball is no good. Springer with the board. Griffin open in the corner. Passes out of the shot over to Scoot Henderson on the drive. Back to Griffin. Looks to get by McDaniels, and Griffin is in with the slam. That was a good possession there by Portland. They had multiple opportunities to shoot the ball, but recognized they could get something better and did. And again, that was off of an offensive rebound. White no good. He grabs his own miss and is in with the putback. We're getting a taste of our own medicine. 79-73, under 2 to go in the third. Davion Mitchell with it. Seconds left on the shot clock. Wright, a prayer. Bang! Big shot for Amel Wright, and the Kings are right back in it. We're within 3. Scoot Henderson on the drive has Griffin wide open, and he responds right back with a 3 of his own in the corner. 83-76. Here is Cedric Hawkins with it on the drive. Hawkins, layup is good. Midnight Hopkins' former college teammate at the University of Houston. As here is Zay Logan, guarded by Jalen Williams. Logan is intercepted by Jimmy Butler. Here comes Sacramento on the break. Butler with it inside for Jaden McDaniels. He gets it over to Cedric Hawkins, and Sacramento will reset the possession. Jalen Williams with the screen. Jumper is good for Hawkins, and the lead is within 5 with around 15 seconds left in the third. Portland's likely going to hold here for one more shot as Springer has it in the corner. Guarded by McDaniels. Clock ticking. 5 to go. Springer on the drive. Hoping somebody gets open. It's Griffin. Wide open 3. That one is off the mark. And that'll do it for the third. Overall, a pretty good quarter for Portland. But Sacramento has looked a lot better over the last couple of minutes to put themselves right back in the game as it's 85-80 and we move into the fourth. Damian Lillard in the corner. Lillard, mid-range jumper on the move is good. And it is a 7-point lead for the Blazers. Hawkins with it, gets the screen from Williams. Hawkins out to Hopkins, the Houston Cougars, as the duo connects, and it's Hopkins with the slam. 5-point game again. Here's Hawkins back with it. Gets it over to Butler as it's tripped away. It's stolen by Lillard. On the other end with the layup. The old man is not going up for the dunk, but hey, that works too. 91-82, Lillard with it on the drive. Damian Lillard, nice move. He's got 6 points over the last 2 minutes, and it's an 11-point game. Darius Springer with it. He gets it over to Shaedon Sharpe. Sharpe with the screen. Time winding down on the shot clock as he connects with Porzingis on the pick and roll for the layup. 13-point game, and this clock is ticking away. Jalen Williams with it on the baseline. He gets it over to Hopkins, who throws it down with the reverse slam. 95-84. Zay Logan with it. Pump fake. Passes out of the shot, but it's intercepted by Davion Mitchell. Big opportunity for Sacramento. Hopkins throws it up, and it's no good. Big stop by Ochai Agbaji. He's got Griffin on the other end. Griffin out to Logan. Jumper is good. 13-point lead here for the Blazers, now with under 6 to go. Lead down to 11. Scoot Henderson on the drive, making it look easy. He's got a double-double there with the slam. 10 points and 10 dimes. Hopkins now on the wing. He drives right side and throws it down. Poster over Zay Logan. We are within 11. Sacramento's got to start a rally now, and that starts on defense. Pick and pop. Springer too easy. He's not missing the open middies. Up to 27-17 on the day. Amel Wright gets by Abaji, or more like Abaji got fooled by the... I don't know what Ochai Abaji was thinking there. It's an 11-point game once again. Springer with it on the drive. Jumper. That one is smooth like butter. Darius Springer on the move. Connects on the moving jumper as he will make the layup. And honestly, looking at the replay, I feel like that should have been a foul. Apollo Cone was draped over him. Basically pushed him. Still makes the play. And it is a 107-95 game. 3.5 minutes left. The Kings having trouble coming back from this deficit. Even though they're staying in the game, they're not making any noise to the lead. Amel Wright with the layup. 10-point game. Hopkins, right wing drive. He's blocked! What a play by Khalil Griffin on the other end. Here is Springer with it, guarded by Wright. Just the matchup the Blazers wanted. He's doubled. Henderson out of the shot over to Porzingis. Back to Springer. Again, they got the matchup they want. Springer inside. Shrugs the defenders. He misses. Grabs his own rebound. Pump fake to Porzingis. And that one is good. Can we look at the block, though, again on the previous possession? My, oh my. Griffin slams it off the top of the glass. And ultimately, Portland scores. It is a 12-point game. 3-point jumper, no good. Springer with the rebound, his 20th. He gets it over to Khalil Griffin on the drive. Springer is wide open. Sacramento doesn't notice. Bang! 15-point lead for Portland with just over 2 minutes to go. This one is not looking good for Sacramento. Amel Wright, jumper will fall, and they're continuing to try to hang around, but it's going to take an utter miracle at this point. Scoot Henderson with it on the drive. Springer thinks about another three. Instead, he drives in for the slam. He's got 36. 114-99. Khalil Griffin with it. Gets by Hopkins. Griffin in with the slam. Portland is adding salt to the wound down the stretch. They're now up by 17 with under a minute to go. Khalil Griffin with it on the drive. Has Sharp open. Corner three. Dagger talk. The lead is up to 20, and the Blazers ultimately take it by 20. 121-101 your final, and the Trailblazers are 1 win away from advancing to the NBA Finals as they defeat Sacramento here in Game 5. And what was mostly a close game, the Kings led after the first. It was tied at half, and we were only up by 5 through 3. But a dominant fourth quarter, outscoring them by 15 points, will ultimately propel us here to the win and a 3-2 lead. Darius Springer led the way, of course, with 36 and 21 on great shooting splits, 14 of 20 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, and he had a plus-minus of 24, meaning the team got outscored when he wasn't on the floor. Pretty typical day in the office for Springer, but he was not the only guy who played well. Khalil Griffin, 27 and 10, while missing just 2 shots. He was fantastic. His efficiency has done a 180 here in the playoffs. Now, 3 games in a row, he's shot it really well. Sharp was solid. Scoot with a double-double. As for Sacramento, Wright had 32, but again, inefficient from 3. As for Midnight Hopkins, 27 points on 17 shot attempts. He needs to take more shots. This is coaching malpractice from Darvin Ham, who's probably got his hand so far in his pockets, he doesn't even know what to think. Over the last 4 games, Hopkins has shot the ball brilliantly in every single one. He needs to be the alpha for this team. He has a true shooting percentage of 69% in the playoffs, which, to put that in perspective, Khalil Griffin, who led the NBA in true shooting in the regular season, was at 69.5%. So this is otherworldly efficiency from Hopkins, but their role players are continuing to shoot them out of the game, as we've seen in other losses in this series. In Game 2, Prospero, Cone, and Butler combined to go 6 for 35. In Game 3, Embiid 1 for 7, White 1 for 8, Butler 2 for 6. And then in this game, Davion Mitchell 2 for 10, Apollo Cone 2 for 7, Jimmy Butler 1 for 5. The 3 of them combined to go 5 for 22. If they have shot the ball better and Amel Wright made a few more of those threes, well, Sacramento probably wins the game. They are continuing to waste phenomenal performances from Midnight Hopkins because he's not getting the ball enough. We dominated on the glass, but we struggled with the turnovers. If we can be a little bit more careful with the basketball offensively, I think that'd be a big deal because we were super efficient shooting the ball, but the only reason why we didn't have a great offensive game was because of the turnovers. That'll bring us here into Game 6. I imagine Detroit is rooting on Sacramento for a couple of reasons. I mean, for one thing, the Kings are probably a little bit worse than us. But also, the longer this series goes, the better for them. Obviously, Sacramento has been dealing with the injury bug. What are their star players' statuses today? Joel Embiid will not play with the hip injury. Jaden Prospero will play with the shoulder, but he will not get the start. He's going to come off the bench. They have a new injury as well. Midnight Hopkins with a sore knee. Obviously, it's not going to keep him out. He's not going to have a minutes restriction, being that it is an elimination game here for the Kings. But that's not ideal. Hopkins was banged up last year in the Western Conference Finals, and he was a complete non-factor. Some players play just as well when they're hurt, such as we've seen with Darius Springer, but other guys' play is really effective, and I fear for Hopkins that very well could be the case. And with him comfortably being their best player here through these first 5 games, if this injury bothers him, then Sacramento is in quite a bit of trouble. But still, being back at home in front of the Bean team and getting Jaden Prospero back is certainly good news for them. Porzingis and Kamari White meet for the tip. It goes to Porzingis, and we are underway. Here in Game 6, the Trailblazers can advance to the NBA Finals tonight. We'll see if they can do it. Here's Sharp on the drive. Floater is good. He gets the scoring started for the Blazers as it's 3-0. Apollo Cone with it over to Kamari White in the corner. White on the drive. He's blocked. Porzingis with the snuff. He gets it over to Scoot Henderson, who takes it all the way with a little rack attack. And Portland's looking good early. They lead 6-2. Amel Wright with it here for Sacramento. He gets it over to Apollo Cone. Cone with space for 3, and that one is good. Darius Springer's done an unbelievable job in this series defending Cone, but that play not so much. Here's Khalil Griffin on the drive. He is snuffed at the rim. I think it was Hopkins who got a hand on it. And here comes Sacramento. Wright has it tripped away, and who's going to end up with the ball? It's the Blazers. Khalil Griffin has it. Out to Scoot Henderson. Right wing 3 is good. Nobody wanted to keep the ball on that possession as it's 9-5. Mitchell is able to get that pass despite it being overthrown. And he gets it over to Kamari White, who is in with the slam as it's 9-7. A low-scoring battle so far. Both offenses struggling in the early going. As Scoot Henderson gets it to Griffin. Top of the key. 3 is good. And Khalil Griffin is on the board with a triple as it's 14-9. Davion Mitchell blows by Scoot Henderson. Not many opposing players do that too often, and he's in for the dunk. 14-11. Here is Shaedon Sharpe with it. Sharpe on the drive. Whoop! Step back. Too easy. Shaedon Sharpe with the step back mid-ranger over Amel Wright, and it's 16-11. Davion Mitchell with it. Has Springer flying on the fake, and Porzingis snuffs the shot of Kamari White. What a play by the Zinger, who's got 2 blocks early in this one. Davion Mitchell is blocked by Scoot Henderson, but White gets it back. Layup no good. Nice defense by Logan. Springer ends up with the rebound out to Agbaji for 3. No good, but Logan is there with the rebound and the putback. Great play there by Zay Logan for the second chance effort, and Portland adds to their lead. The opposite of Game 5. Portland has been the better team here in the first quarter as Davion Mitchell loses it again. Scoot Henderson with the steal. Unbelievable defense in the first quarter by the Blazers as Darius Springer hits the mid-ranger, and Sacramento's got to call timeout as they trail by 7. Their offense has had no answers so far. Here's Apollo Cone with it. Backs down on Springer, and the hook shot is good. Cone able to use his big 7'2" frame to make the play. Davion Mitchell hands it off for Jaden McDaniels. His 3 is good as Ochai Agbaji is unable to get the contest quick enough, and we're back within 2. Sacramento playing a lot better as Jaden Prospero has it. His floater is blocked. Another snuff. I think Agbaji and Suleiman both got a piece, and Logan on the other end makes the layup. Nonetheless, it's good for Sacramento to have Prospero back as he got injured early in the fourth quarter of Game 3, taking a hard hit to the shoulder on a screen from Darius Springer. And speaking of Springer and that shoulder, backs down on Butler, but he loses it. Logan ends up back with it. Scoot Henderson with seconds left on the shot clock, misses the 3, and that will wrap up the first quarter. A low-scoring defensive start as the Trailblazers lead it 26-22, and we move into the second. Darius Springer's off to a slow start as he is 2 for 9 from the field, not looking like himself as Prospero is there with the lefty layup Prospero's dominant shoulder is injured, so he's going to have to use the left hand more than ever. There's Jalen Williams. Layup is good. We're tied at 26. Shaedon Sharpe with the drive. Crossover by Hopkins, and he's in for the dunk. Hopkins was slow to react there. It's got to be the knee. And Shaedon Sharpe takes advantage as he's in with the dunk. He's up to 7 points. 28-26. Prospero on the drive. Pick and pop. Jalen Williams for 3, and Sacramento has the lead for the first time tonight. 28-29. Prospero with it. Layup is no good. Again, using his left hand there. And then on the other end, it's Shaedon Sharpe off the dribble. Bang! He hits for 3. He's in the double figures, and Portland is right back ahead. 31-29. Prospero spin move. Nice pass. Williams triple. Another one falls for Jalen Williams. And Sacramento is back ahead 32-31. Springer, pump fake, looks to get by McDaniels, and he does not, but he's there with his own rebound. Pump fake, layup, and the foul! And one for Darius Springer. He would miss the 3 throw, though, so the lead stays at 1. Hopkins on the left wing, guarded by Shaedon Sharpe. Pull-up jumper is good. At midnight, Hopkins is on the board. Really didn't do much of anything in the first quarter, looking to get active here offensively in the second. McDaniels is off the mark. Springer with the rebound. He's already at 10. 15 minutes into the game as he sends a beauty for Kristaps Porzingis, who's on the board with the layup, and it's 35-34. Darius Springer with it, guarded by McDaniels on the drive. Springer layup is blocked. Porzingis gets it back, though, and he is there with the putback. Despite the slow scoring start for Springer, Portland's offense has been able to play fine without him shooting the ball well as he passes it off the defender's back, gets it back, no good, is there with the offensive rebound, and he gets the putback. But still, a lot of misses. 4 for 13 now from the field. Shaedon Sharpe with it on the drive. Gets by Hopkins. He's in with the dunk. And again, Hopkins' injury clearly hurting his speed, his lateral quickness, and certainly there his first step. Apollo Cone, step back triple. That one will rattle out. Scoot Henderson with the rebound. Springer in transition. Left wing 3 is good. He's got a double-double. It's a 10-point lead. Portland is starting to take some momentum. Their defenses continue to play excellent. 34, now 36 points allowed with 2.5 to go in the quarter as Kawari White hits the shot. Here's Davion Mitchell with it. Mitchell inside. Back to White. He is there with the slam. It is a 6-point game with a minute left in a very low-scoring first half. Darius Springer with it. Backs down on Mitchell with a dime in the corner. Scoot Henderson hits the open 3, and the lead now sits at 9. Amel Wright with it. He drives to the right side. Right, step back. That one is good. Darius Springer might have gotten a hand on it, but the shot still falls. 49-42, looks like a little pick and roll, and the lob is successful. Darius Springer is there with the throwdown off the assist by Shaedon Sharpe. And that'll add to the lead, 51-42, 30 to go in the half. Apollo Cone with it. Cone heaves up a prayer from 3. It's good. What a shot by Apollo Cone. 51-45 now. Scoot Henderson with it on the drive. Pump fake out to Porzingis. His shot is good. And it is an 8-point lead once more for Portland. Sacramento back with it. Amel Wright for 3. That one is no good. Springer with his 15th rebound of the half. Crossover, drives by Wright. Springer throws it down over Kawari White. What a play by Springer with seconds to go in the half. Sacramento's going to get one more shot. Cone, 3. That one is good! Big shot by Apollo Cone. Sacramento's offense finally looking good here towards the end of the first half in what otherwise was a disaster for them on the offensive side of the floor. Or should I say the offensive side of the floor, because their offense has literally been offensive today. Defensively, the Blazers obviously likewise have been great. But even their offense has gotten off to kind of a slow start. Darius Springer's been inefficient, but he has still been very impactful with 15, 15, and 5. He is on pace for a 30-30-10 game. Is he going to get that? Probably not, but that would be pretty cool. As we move into the second half, the Blazers are now 20 minutes away from advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time in this series. Davion Mitchell guarded by Scoot Henderson. Mitchell, step back 3 is good. And the lead quickly is within 2. 57-54. Here is Darius Springer guarded by Wright. The matchup he's been looking for takes advantage. He is in with the layup, and the Blazers are back up by 5. Now Khalil Griffin is matched up with Wright. Calling for isolation. He needs space because he knows he's going to make this play with ease. Quiet start for Khalil Griffin. He's only got 8 points, but he's played great defense tonight on Midnight Hopkins, who only has, I think, 4 points. Springer, pump fake. Layup is good. And the lead now sits at 9. Make it 8. 65-57. Scoot Henderson with it over to Shaedon Sharpe. Sharpe drives right side. He dishes it for Porzingis, who's in with the slam. Good pass there by Shaedon Sharpe, who's had some nice passes today. Certainly not his game, but he's doing it in this one. Cone looks to beat the shot clock for 3. And we are within 7. Apollo Cone has not been good at all in this series offensively until today. He's finally figured something out, as Kamari White cannot get by the screen, and Porzingis takes advantage, gets a 3 right back. 70-60. Here's White inside for Hopkins in the corner. Amel Wright misses the 3. That's the kind of day it's been offensively for the Kings. Really not much is falling. They only have 60 points halfway through the third quarter, on pace for less than 100, as Cone misses the 3, but Kamari White is there with the rebound and the foul, and 1. And this game is within 7. 70-63. Here's Ochai Agbaji on the drive. Layup is good. That's not an easy play for Ochai Agbaji, as he's got 4. Springer guarded by Wright. You know that's the matchup he wants, unless Shaedon Sharpe is wide open on the left wing. He hits the 3. Once Springer got the double, he knew he was going to pass it out and connects with Sharpe. Here's Ochai Agbaji with it, looking to get somebody off a screen. It's Scoot Henderson in for the dunk. Productive day offensively for Scoot. He's got 14 and 7. Shaedon Sharpe with the crossover in the corner for Agbaji. Back to Sharpe, over to Logan, and he's intercepted by Mitchell. The hot potato ultimately falls out of the frying pan as Kamari White is in for the slam. 77-67, 10-point game. Amel Wright with it. His jumper is good as Shaedon Sharpe played the ball. He ultimately missed, and, well, he was taken out of the play completely after missing the ball. 77-69 off the steal. Amel Wright with it on the drive. He's got Kamari White. Open 3. No good, but he's fouled. Number 1 rule of defense, Zay, don't foul the jump shooter. He would make all 3 at the line. 79-72. Here's Amel Wright off the screen. Hits the 3. And it is a 4-point game. 79-75. Over 2 to go in the third. Here is Springer. Gets the double out to the rookie. Caleb Marsh for 3. The Kings are finally recognizing when Springer's guarded by Wright, that's not good news, but unfortunately for them, there's always somebody else open. Well, the Agbaji miss. Springer with the rebound and a putback. 23, 18, and 7 now for Darius Springer, who only has 3 rebounds here in this third quarter. 84-75. Jimmy Butler with it. Off the screen over to McDaniels for 3. Springer was expecting drive. Instead, it's a shot, and we are within 6. Here's Damian Lillard with it, guarded by Mitchell. Lillard with a nice move. The old man showing he's still got something left in the tank. The acrobatic layup is good. Lillard showing off his bag as Davion Mitchell misses the jumper. Here's Lillard with the rebound. He gets it over to Darius Springer. Springer drives. He's got Marsh open. Corner 3. Bang! Caleb Marsh, the rookie, with another triple. 89-90, under a minute left in the third. Here's Springer on the drive. Layup is good. Portland's offense has been tremendous here in the third quarter, with 36 here in this frame after just 55 in the first half. Jimmy Butler's step-back jumper is good. We're back within single digits. Here is Darius Springer with it. Gets the screen from Logan. Springer inside for Logan. Layup is good as Jalen Williams tries to draw the charge, but he's unsuccessful. Seconds left in the third. Mitchell. McDaniels 3. No good. And that will wrap up the third quarter. Wow, an impressive full-court shot by Lillard almost went in. Portland leads by 11, 93-82, as the lead really doesn't change here in the third quarter. Both offenses were really good after a really bad first half. And with that, the Blazers are 1 quarter away from going to the finals as Springer grabs the miss from McDaniels. Out to Suleiman. Wide open. His shot is good. Malachi Suleiman's not a good three-point shooter. He was not looking to shoot the ball there, but the Kings disrespected him, and he's going to make him pay. 96-82. Hopkins' 3 is good. Nice shot there for Midnight Hopkins, his first basket of the second half, as Prospero is there with the steal. Tightly guarded by Suleiman, but he still makes the layup anyway, and we are back within single digits. Prospero's three is no good. Could have brought this game within 6. Suleiman out to Springer. What did the ball just do there? Springer on the drive. He is in with the slam. 27, 19, and 10. He got the triple-double off of the assist on the Malachi Suleiman 3. Hopkins' triple is no good. Springer with his 20th rebound of the game. A 20-20-10 game as Marsh hits another 3. Caleb Marsh, not a great three-point shooter, is 3 for 3 from beyond the arc today as McDaniels is there with the slam. Darius Springer really trusting Caleb Marsh offensively as Marsh continues to earn more and more playing time here in these playoffs. It's a pick and pop. Griffin, corner 3 is good. The lead is up to 15. Now for the Blazers, the biggest it's been all night. Hopkins with it. Over to McDaniels. He is in with the layup despite Marsh nearly getting a hand on it. Sacramento's got to get things moving quickly. It can't be like the last game where it was too late for them to start a rally by the time they were shooting it well. Off the Hopkins miss. Griffin, Springer, right wing 3. Bang! Another triple for Springer. It's an 18-point game. I feel like Sacramento officially is in trouble. Springer misses, but Porzingis is there with the putback, and the lead sits at 20 for Portland. They can just taste it here with 5.5 to go. Springer, pump fake, with the throwdown over Williams. 115-95. Jimmy Butler gets it over to McDaniels, nearly stolen by Scoot Henderson as he gets Scoot on the fake, and he makes the layup. 115-97. Griffin inside for Darius Springer. Pump fake. Layup is good. He's got 36 now, and the lead is back at 20 with under 5 to go. Springer, pump fake. McDaniels goes flying. Springer passes it out to Porzingis. Unselfish basketball. He might be looking for the Blazers' postseason assist record. A number of players hold that mark. It's 15 in a game. Springer sits at 13 as Williams is called for the offensive 3-second. And again, it's been that kind of day here for Sacramento, whose season is in real jeopardy. Shaedon Sharpe hits the jumper. Lead now sits at 22. Sharpe with 17 tonight. Here is Davion Mitchell over to Jimmy Butler. His 3 is no good, but Kamari White tips in the putback. White has had a productive second half if you're looking for a positive if you're Sacramento. Springer, pump fake, Sharpe, open. Corner 3 is good! Another big basket for Shaedon Sharpe. And with 3 minutes to go, it's a 19-point lead. Springer on the drive, throws it down. He's up to 38 points. Here is Scoot Henderson, pump fake, guarded by White. That means there's a mismatch somewhere. Oh yeah, that's just what they wanted. It's a double team. Griffin hits the 3. Again, right as the Kings see Springer's guarded by Wright, somebody else has to help, meaning Griffin's wide open. 21-point game. Springer triple is good. That's a 40-piece, and that should just about do it. Scoot Henderson will dribble at the clock, and this game is over. The Trailblazers are going to the NBA Finals, where they will face off against the Detroit Pistons for an opportunity to compete for a championship. 142-119 is your final. The Blazers win this one by 23 points. The offense was unbelievable, scoring 87 points in the second half and damn near 50 in the fourth. We were not missing in this second half as Darius Springer finishes with 41 points, 20-something rebounds, and 15 assists, tying the all-time Blazer record for most assists in a playoff game, as Scoot Henderson will hold up the Western Conference Championship trophy to celebrate Portland making it to the finals. The game didn't show us the graphic for the Western Conference Finals MVP, which is pretty lame. I think we all know that it would go to Darius Springer, though, who was unbelievable the entire series. 28-12 for Kamari White. He was hooping. Apollo Cohn also had probably his best game of the series with 19. But the star players really didn't shoot the ball enough, and I feel like the use of minutes was very questionable. Nobody played more than 30 minutes. The Kings just, their coaching was abysmal. Darvin Ham was awful. Laker fans are probably grinning ear to ear at this revelation. Mel Wright only shot the ball 13 times, making 7 shots. Midnight Hopkins went 2 for 9. He was awful in this game offensively. He is such a different player when he's healthy versus when he's not. Khalil Griffin had him in hell as well. And Hopkins' offensive struggles is ultimately why the Kings fell. As for the Blazers, 43, 20, and 15 for Springer, who started the game 4 for 13 from the field, but he made 16 of his last 20 shots after that, while tying the Blazers' single-game postseason assist record. 24 for Sharp, probably his most efficient scoring game of the series. He was quite impressive. Double-double for Scooty at 16 and 11. 15 and 10 for Porzingis. He only missed one shot. Griffin was quiet offensively, but phenomenal on the defensive end of the floor. Caleb Marsh, 3 for 3 from deep. He's trying to earn himself some extra minutes for the NBA Finals. Overall, really, really strong game. Defensively, we were pretty good. Offensively, not great in the first half, but was unbelievable in the second half. Again, scoring close to 90 points. 49 came in the fourth. And now that sets us up here for the finals. The Trailblazers against my favorite team in real life, the Detroit Pistons. This is going to be a moral battle for me to fight, watching Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey and Asar Thompson in the finals. It's going to be hard not to root for them. The Pistons were the 3 seed, but they have been on a warpath in the playoffs. They have not lost a game since the first round. So even though they were only a 3 seed in a questionable Eastern Conference, they have been the best team in the NBA here in the playoffs. They swept the number 2 seeded Bulls. They swept the number 1 seeded New York Knicks, and they've had all this time to rest. So even though we're probably the better team and we're probably the favorite, the Pistons are peaking at the right time. They have a dynamic and explosive backcourt with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, both of whom have hit their ceilings, enough to make a grown man cry. Jabari Smith and Asar Thompson have also really played to their roles, and like us, the Pistons have a very clear core 4. While many teams in the Eastern Conference made big splashes at the deadline, the Pistons held to form because they really liked the way their roster was built, and ultimately it paid off. And it helps when Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson, and Jabari Smith miss one combined game in the regular season. In the playoffs, the Pistons are 12 and 2. Cade Cunningham is averaging pretty much 30 and 10 on like 60-50 shooting. Asar Thompson has played really well in the playoffs. Jabari Smith is averaging 56%. The Pistons are built very similarly to us in the sense that they rely on their stars, but they have role players who know how to play to their role. The one question with this team, though, is rim protection. Isaiah Hartenstein will not play here in the finals. Their lone healthy center is Alexei Pokusevski, who's not much of the rim protector. They're going to have to really rely on Jabari Smith defensively. Obviously, the lack of rim protection hasn't hurt Detroit. I mean, they've lost 2 games here in the playoffs. But a team like Portland, who knows how to drive, who knows how to get their forwards onto mismatches with guards, and they know how to score inside more efficiently than just about anybody, that could be a problem for Detroit. And if we're able to exploit that, then our offense could be in business. But I do fear for our defense. We're going to have some trouble with that backcourt. Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey should have some big games in what should be, hopefully, a really fun NBA Finals. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new and excited for the NBA Finals kicking off in the next episode between the Blazers and the Pistons. Peace out.